So we'll probably move into this topic immediately because I do think it's like one of the bigger things that are happening. It's the whole XQC fucking streamer like React content shit that's going on. It's like
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that's
happening resurfacing.
Right now, yeah, it's resurfacing. So like I tweeted yesterday something along the lines of like, hey, it's wild that a lot of streamers think that they're entitled to just steal other people's content and not transform it in any way. It's we used to make fun of this, and for some reason, it's just become the meta now. It's weird. And some guy was like in my comments, like, IP doesn't exist. IP's not real. And anybody, it was like some libertarian dude. It's like, IP's not real.
Of course.
And you can, anybody.
Of course, this fucking
anybody can go.
State law having ass nigga go say dumb shit like.
And it's like anybody can take whatever the fuck they want. And I replied to him. I said, I believe you should kill yourself with a gun. And that was all I said. But because I really
the I believe part makes it so genuine. It makes it almost like a Christmas story.
Yeah, brother.
where it's like I believe you should die.
I am just kind of at a point where I just no longer really care that much. I believed it. It's like you're a stupid person, and I'm simply sharing my beliefs.
It's getting really hard.
Taxation is theft.
Because
you should be able to have sex with a fetus. Intellectual property don't exist. Yeah, boy.
Well, here's the thing, though. The thing about it is, like, listen, I don't think I did anything wrong because I was sharing an opinion. I wasn't telling this guy to kill himself with a gun. I was simply saying that I believe he should, which I think is totally fair. It's free speech.
Lawyering right there.
This is exactly like if we're supposed to live in a society where people are free to share their beliefs. I don't understand why I'm being persecuted for this. But
you are making fun of death and/or suicide, which is funny sometimes.
I'm not making fun.
Not always.
Not making fun. This is a sincere belief that I hold. Okay. Yeah. I believe that person.
Okay.
It's not a command. It's just
not a command. It's just
command word. Command word. Kill yourself. That's a D&D spell. Command word. Kill yourself.
Yeah, dude,
you use command. You tell a person to jump off bridge. Command.
Can I just say that it is weird that whole. Like, I feel like it really wasn't even that long ago that, like, React content was, like, really just bottom of the barrel, like, objectively kind of, like, the shittiest stuff that you could do.
What's crazy is that all of a sudden in, like, 2018 or 19, a bunch of black people started doing React videos. Like, every black person with, like, their cousin or something like that was like, let's do React videos and then have funny vernacular.
Oh, yeah, do you remember that?
Black folk.
Do you remember that specifically? Do you remember that specifically with, like, those videos that were, like, listening to Bohemian Rhapsody for the first time? It's like, dude.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? There's no fucking way. You're 42.
That might not be.
So here's
that
the
might
thing
not be the first time they listened. They've heard it, but the first time they listened to it.
Here's
the
thing with niggas that I admire. Here's the thing that I admire with niggas right here. So they figured out because niggas are always about getting that quick buck and hustling. I love it.
We gotta chill. You gotta wait. Whoa.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying nothing.
First and foremost, I'm gonna this moment to separate myself. I am technically.
Yeah, you please go. You go sit in the corner with your white buddies. I'm gonna go speak on behalf of niggas that actually will attest to this and tell you how to make fucking quick money and how to hustle.
First and foremost, I'm
stealing money.
Do you remember that TikTok guy who's like, how to fuck your bitch, how to steal a dumb bitch. How to
steal a dumb bitch? How to make a fat bitch lose weight? How to get your bitch pregnant in 3 strokes? Like that guy. First of all, he had an index of real advice.
Yeah,
it was just labeled. It was just layered in ignorance.
How to Charmander a bitch.
So you had some brothers on YouTube that figured out that white people love watching the reactions of black people. That's why, like, there was that whole talk about digital blackface and shit like that, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same concept where they figured this out. They're like, all I have to do is just do what I do. Like, I'm not doing anything different. I'm just watching some dumb shit and reacting, and I'm making a shitload of money. And so they figured it out. And then so for a while, it was cool. Then, you know, people started to step in and say, hey, this is bullshit. You're just stealing content, yada, yada. And then it went away for a while. And then it came back, but it came back differently in a quote unquote clever way, like the way you said, listening to Bohemian Rhapsody the first time, which is, I always say, like, so the Megadeth drummer, I just saw this the other day. The Megadeth drummer said, hearing Mr. Brightside for the first time. And so there's a part of me that, and then in the video, it's authentically, he said, like, I've never, and then in the studio, the guys are behind the booth and they're like, no way. Like, he's even, like, I feel like he's acting. He's like, no, there's no way he's not heard this before. There's no way. And I'm just like, I believe you. There is no way you've never heard Mr. fucking Brightside before. Being like that entrenched in the music, you've never came across the fucking Killers. And so,
literally inconceivable. I was having a conversation. I was having a conversation. Wait, hold on. Before I forget, I was having a conversation the other day with somebody I brought up Vanessa Carlton, and she was like, "Who?" And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Vanessa Carlton?" You know, like, and I was like, you know, you know, I did the 1,000 miles, and he's like, "What is that?" And I was like, "You've absolutely heard." 1,000 miles. She was like, "No, I've never heard it." I was like, "You're lying to yourself."
I think I know who you're talking about. But I'm just gonna. But what happens for me is this, right? I couldn't make that contact because I'd be like listening to this for the first time, right? Even if I didn't know about it, I'd listen to part of it. I'm like, "No, I've heard this before." Sorry, guys. End the video. Now just end the video right there. That would be an awesome.
Can I say something?
Because I wouldn't be able to lie about that for no reason.
I think that would be a great channel. Of just listening, listening.
No,
to...
some of them go through. Some of them I listen to the whole thing without knowing. But then there's some songs where I know it, and I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
No, I think the whole channel should be. You listen to the song for 10 seconds, and you're like, fuck, no, man, I heard this already. Sorry, guys. See you next time. And it's like 40,000 videos of that. It's like Buff Carell. You make like 2 million of these.
That'd be so good. That'd be so good.
The numbers are high.
That'd be so good.
Yeah.
Yo, so
I can't. Because it's like, how do you this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
You may have never listened to. Like, I've never really listened to.
What did you say? You've never may have heard something in the background.
I've never really listened to Prince. I have definitely heard a lot of Prince's music before. I've never really listened to Prince.
No, you've never really sat down and listened to it.
And listened to Prince, right?
See, that's semantics.
But I've heard a fuck ton of his music.
I've
heard it.
The label, usually you'll hear first time hearing, first time listening. I feel like I still think that most of those videos are fake. I see like some of the most popular songs that have been drilled everywhere, and people are saying first time hearing this. I don't believe them.
It's like suck my dick.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all. When people I saw a really famous drummer saying like the first time listening to a Michael Jackson song, and I'm like, I don't believe that stuff at all. I know what they're doing.
First time hearing.
It's like Chris last week. It's like, I've never watched an episode of fucking Law and Order. We were like, bro, that's impossible. That's impossible. You have to have seen it.
Hold on.
You could have not watched it, but you have definitely seen Law and Order Beyond.
But very quickly he realized
exactly. That's all
that is to this day the only episode of Law and Order I've ever seen.
Yes, Chris.
That's fair.
You've definitely, Chris. I want to tell you something very true. You might disagree with me. In your life, in passing, in walking into rooms, in waiting for shit to end, and for something else to come on, you've probably watched like maybe 10 hours of Law and Order.
I don't think so.
10 hours?
In
Can I say
because that show's on every channel. It plays for hours. It's so much Law and Order.
Let me explain why that's not true. My family, for whatever reason, my dad loves like NCIS and all that shit, but like for whatever reason, straight up, Law and Order was never on that list. Like I was introduced to like the Law and Order meme, like the theme song, like bum bum, like the fucking court thing, on like internet shit, and I had no idea what the fuck. It was just not a present thing. I guarantee you, I've seen more of like Days of Our Lives or like those like fucking soap operas. Those what is it? Oh my God, Kingston, you might know some of the Spanish ones that I can't remember the names.
Oh my God, freaking Let me see which
you know what
one
I mean.
remember.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen tens of dozens of hours of those shows, even though I've never sat down and watched them. But
right.
Law and Order is like a weird blind spot for me. I don't know. I was never into it, and my parents weren't into it either. I saw a lot of Judge Judy,
I think it's totally possible. Yeah, that's the daytime
Fuck ton of
television.
Judge
I
Judy.
think a lot of people have seen that just by proxy. I think it's totally reasonable that some people may have not seen some even popular shows. Music is a little more complicated, and you see the people that are doing. Right, so that's the whole thing.
I hate looking at these Spanish soap operas and not understanding almost knowing more of the words now because I speak Spanish way better now than I did when I was younger. But like freaking Yo Soy Betty la Fea, Ugly Betty, the fucking original one, which was just sort of racist because of course everyone in that cast was fair skinned, and then Betty was the only dark skinned curly haired Latina person there, and it was like,
Hey.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna lose my Spanish.
Leave Ugly Betty alone.
Lo siento.
But yeah, fucking, I don't know, man. But like, dude, it shifted so quickly. I feel like because I feel like overnight it became like, oh, this is just what streamers are doing now. They're just reacting to things, and that's just expected. And I don't know what the fuck happened really, because that XQC shit is egregious. Like, because it's one thing, and maybe this is just my opinion. I don't mean to presume this on everybody else, but
break it down.
It's not necessarily a problem to sit and react to something like that on stream, right? Like whatever. That's like a live audience. It's like it's its own. I feel like it's its own unique experience. You get to interact with it. You have a chance to make an impact on the content. Like whatever, right? But if you're going to upload that to YouTube, at the very least, that should be like edited or like, you know, maybe highlighted.
It should be clipped. You should not upload reaction content.
Do you know what I mean?
Like I don't agree with that.
Like uploading a 1 hour and 30-minute video in its entirety with 20 minutes of your reaction with no edits whatsoever. That's fucking egregious. Like, I am totally fine if, like, somebody wants to, like, react to, like, a video that I did that's, like, maybe, like, 20 minutes and they make, like, I don't know, they clip their reaction stream down to, like, the highlights or whatever. That's fine. Yeah. But, like, when it's just straight up, like, I think there was, like, 15 minutes of that XQC stream where he just played the video and walked away.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. And just let the video play. And it's like, dude, come on.
I've seen that. I've seen that a lot.
The thing is this, right? Like, let's say if there's a conversation in the content. Like if there's like a, I would hate to say debate because the word debate doesn't mean shit to me anymore. Now it's just yelling at each other and not telling the truth. But when it's like a conversation, like if you're doing a piece on like let's say disagreeing on the point of somebody else, right? And there's a conversation, right? If you upload the entire video of you constantly having content, which is still, it's transforming it literally because your input is transforming the content, where it would still be the whole video. Sound like, let's say, Chris, you did one of your videos, right? And you were talking about, I don't know, the black bitch that you made go missing. If she made a video, right, and she was constantly talking to you, or like disproving your point or arguing against your points. When you upload that, I think that's fine. There's always going to be caveats to rules, right? Like if you are directly related to the content, I think you have full right to respond in however way you choose. Like I would never, if I'm making like a video about like Cat Black or something, and Cat Black reacts to it and uploads that to her channel, I would never be like, that's ridiculous. Like that makes perfect sense. It's to do with her. Of course she would have something to say, but like. Taking like a documentary that some YouTuber made, like of their own free will, and it's this like really highly edited, really like masterly crafted hour-and-a-half piece of, you know, video content, and then just playing that on stream and then walking away for 15 minutes of it is fucking ludicrous. Like that's insane.
Yeah, of course. I think there's like a delicate way to handle this. As far as because really the only big problem is I think we need to kill streamers. The biggest, yeah, definitely. No, like the biggest streamers that, you know how like creators lose, they lose views and stuff because the biggest streamers will take their content and everybody's just gonna watch their reaction of it. I think that's the biggest thing. I always feel like if people would just delay the streams to let the original content creator get like as many views as they were gonna get. Like for example. So, this band, like, I'll still do reactions to music, but number one, my shit's small as fuck, so it's not gonna have any dent my stuff is completely transformative too, because I'm not just sitting there and not saying anything.
Yeah.
Maybe mine are too long too. I look at them, I was like, shit, my shit's fucking almost 16 minutes, and I'll look at somebody else's and it's only a few minute reaction. But anyway, I'll see, like, say this band Slaughter to Prevail, they just put out something new, and it hasn't hit like 1 million yet. It was like at 700,000, and I saw this one big streamer. He reacted to it, and it had like 300,000 views. And my problem is that guy's so big that a lot of people who normally would have watched the original music video just opted and watched dude react to it. So they lost, probably at least 100,000 views where they could have been closer to 1 million. So I feel like that kind of sucks in that. So I feel like maybe there can be more of a courtesy of just letting that shit kind of just a little bit. But, I understand why they're trying to, strike while the iron's hot. I get it. I get the whole point of doing it as fast as possible. But it's just like courtesy shit, Like trying to help out the person, because obviously, what would you be watching if it wasn't for the people making good content? So you kind of should respect them first.
Or just, dude, like, at the very least, like, if you're going to react to something, fucking be there for it. Like, it's really the playing shit while you're gone that's crazy to me. Like, that's the wildest. Because that's literally just,
there's no excusing.
It's just stealing. It's just straight up. There's nothing else. Because it's like, I remember Hassan was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Die? It's like, no, fucking idiot. You just fucking you walk away and pause.
You can
People
pause,
are capable,
you piece of shit.
Like, but then my stream's not going to be entertaining when I'm not there. It's like, fucking so? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I have stepped away from my stream a number of times. People are just talking in the chat. Okay?
Right.
I don't have to, like, play other people's content to supplant them or like entertain them while I'm gone, because quite frankly, that's not my work to entertain them with. It's crazy to me that there's no this is just the last part of it, but like, it's crazy to me that there's no basic ethical consideration for what is and is not yours in the streaming space. It's fucking weird, and it's why
streamers are bad people, bro. Don't you notice that?
They're fucking lazy. That's the biggest thing. They're fucking. Do you remember when there was the whole YouTuber versus Twitter thing? Which one was more difficult? Oh, sorry, Twitch versus YouTube. Which one was more difficult? I couldn't believe that was even a thing that happened.
It's crazy. It's so insane
that you would even entertain that shit. Like, fucking, I wonder.
You know what's crazy? For a long time, I thought that streaming would be an avenue that would eventually usurp a lot of the media on the traffic on YouTube, and then obviously because of the way that Amazon facilitated Twitch, it didn't, and Twitch is like on fire pretty much now. It's barely fucking doing anything anymore. Because you'd assume streaming is more interactive, more intimate, obviously, if it's done correctly. If you're not just getting up and leaving, and letting people just exist on content. Which I've definitely been like, hey guys, I'm gonna go pee, and I've played a video before, but the video I played was teach people how to play a game. So it was just like, hey, here's how you play this game. I'm gonna go piss. I'll be right back while this thing is playing. Hopefully you guys get the idea of it.
Well, you know what I do?
Which is still the same thing.
What I do is, whenever I leave a stream and I'm going to be gone for a while, I'll play one of my videos, because that's mine. And you know what? I bet a lot of these fucking streamers have a lot of stuff in their back catalog that they can easily, if they're going to be gone for a while, they can easily go back into their fucking archives and play something that they've done in the past.
That makes
you know what I mean?
Sense. That makes so much sense.
You know what I've seen a lot of people do, and what people used to do back in the day, from what I remember, people would just have a be right back, and then they would just play a little bit of music. It would just be like, I
do that too.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because especially if somebody, and a lot of people who are professional are very good at this, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back in, they have like a time.
Yeah.
So then all you can do is really just be like, I'll fuck off for 5 minutes. I'm going to go do something else for 5 minutes, or I'll just leave it there for 5 minutes, whatever it is.
No,
kind of giving people the option.
If you fuck off for 5 minutes, then you click off the stream, and then you'll never come back. Because I'm not confident in my own ability to entertain. So I need you here constantly. I need you here forever. I'm going to steal this documentary.
It is
like the worst fucking anxiety,
dude. Of the of the new viewer. They're like, they'll be there for a moment, like, oh, this is entertaining. I'm gone. Bye, and they're just.
I think the insane. They're catering to the insane viewer. They're like the Vine people that they need entertainment immediately and constantly.